Okay, hi. Oh, there are people here already. That's fun. Hi. So, this is for you if your love life just confuses the ever loving whatever out of you. Um, a lot of us have had this experience where we really want to be in a partnership, even like the way I think of it is like a divine partnership, where we're each on our path very firmly and also, in a really beautiful container of love and partnership in this, human experience. So, um, there is a lot going on with this cosmically right now. If this is something you've really been desiring, maybe even for, your whole life. And I realize I have a big piece of blue fuzz here on my shoulder. I'm just gonna get rid of that. If this is something you've been wanting and maybe thought you had gotten and then it disappeared, or like my own experience has been I was single for 6 years and then kind of very rapidly cycled through three relationships, three breakups in 3 years with like miscarriage thrown in. And it's kind of, you get to a point, it's like, WTF, what's going on? So for people who are really very interested in their own expansion. I don't want to say growth. I don't want to say healing because we're all whole and healed. We're all, divine sparks or whatever. But, this is something we really desire and maybe have been having trouble getting to. So essentially, this session is for you, for me. I got the idea to do this a couple days ago, and Mary Magdalene and Jesus are really beautiful guides to work with for this, for divine partnership. If you resonate with the term twin flame, this will be good for you too. Divine partnership has always been the one that really lands with me. And so Mary Magdalene and Jesus wanted to come through and work with us on this. Anyone who's interested. So we're doing this free session, and it'll, I guess it'll go either as long as they say it goes or until my computer runs out of battery. We got 46%, guys. And then I'm going to be doing another 3 bigger sessions over the next 3 Thursdays, where you can ask questions and we can talk to them about your own personal situation. So if that's something, if you like this and want to join in on that, send me an email. You can get me at amberadrian.com/contact. And yeah, and I'll give you the details. So, all right, let's tune in and see. This may be guidance, this may be healing. We'll just see how they want to work with us. And what they want to do with this. Basically, what I've been getting and what my channeler friends have been getting, and what kind of the chatter is around all of this stuff, is that October is going to be a really big month for those of us who have been really on this like divine partnership quest for a long time. And and I don't know what that means exactly. I just know for myself personally, like something's coming. And that seems to be the case for a lot of people. So this feels like a really fun time to do this and just see what comes through. So, let's just take a moment, ground in. And if you happen to run across this and feel guided to it, and you're already in a partnership, you have someone, this, while it is geared toward people who are feeling around for that, this may also, really serve the relationship that you're already in, whatever comes through. So just as an aside. Okay, so take a few deep breaths with me. Okay, Jesus is drawing the circle. It looks like he has a big piece of golden chalk and he's drawing a circle, around all of us, a safe space for this session, a safe space of love, of guidance, of healing. Your higher selves are stepping in. My higher self is stepping in. Mary Magdalene's like reading a magazine on a bench. She's letting Jesus take care of this part. And and all of your guides, your angels, people here to people, other dimensional beings are here to support you. And so we're just here in this space, ready to receive whatever's in our highest good, whatever is here for us, whatever is most needed energetically or informationally in this time. So, okay, Jesus just wants us to breathe. What would Jesus do? Take a breath. Okay, so he's coating our brains with gold. This is to help the brain step out of past regrets, out of kind of future yearnings or reachings, to help our brain step out of if there's any place where you're feeling clingy to a certain person or to the idea of what you want, this is going to help balance that. And you can do this on your own if you're feeling that clinginess. Or if you have, just as an aside, this is something I do a lot. If you have exes who tend to pop up in your brain, you can, I just sort of imagine escorting them to the door of my energy and just, okay, I love you, bye-bye. And then I just sort of see myself in this white, neutral, amber only space. And that's very, very powerful. Because we're all psychic, we're all very connected, especially to people we love or to people from our past. And so if they do keep cropping up in your head, it might be because you're thinking about them, might be because they're thinking about you. Your energies might be doing something together. Because energetically, sometimes it doesn't matter if we haven't spoken to them in 2 years or 5 years. Sometimes our higher selves will be energetically connecting. And so if you don't necessarily want that in your brain space, that's sometimes I also imagine putting them on like a white slide and they just go down the slide and kind of go where they go and out of my space. So that can be really effective to help you just keep staying centered. And help you stay in the present, really, because of course, the present is where we need to be. It's when we're kind of straddling the past and the future that we get all wiggly and anxious. So this gold light from Jesus, hi Jesus, is coating our brains and just helping everything settle, helping you feel grounded, connected within your own body, to your higher self, and to your heart. So now the gold is moving down from your brain, through your throat, and into your heart. So now it's almost like your brain moves down from your head, down an elevator into your heart. So the energy of your heart is very wise, very intuitive, very powerful. And so when we rest our brain in our heart, everything just feels better. And it's a really good practice if you're kind of in some looping thought patterns, if you are worried about anything, thinking about, past people, regrets, mistakes. There are no mistakes. Like everything does happen perfectly. And your higher self is guiding you very, very intently, especially now. Um, and it can also help if you're kind of like feeling into the future and like really wanting something specific, just allowing your brain to move into your heart really just smooths that all out and allows you to be in this very centered, free, happy, present space. And of course, when we're living in this space, then what's meant for us just starts being magnetized to us. So that's fun. Okay, so from here, Okay, so Jesus is like it almost looks like an old bank vault. Like it's kind of brass and there's like a big wheel and he's kind of like opening the bank vault, but it's your heart. So it's like he's dialing open our hearts and he's kind of peering inside. He's calling Mary Magdalene over. She's put down her magazine. And it's like they're each, both of them are peering into each of our hearts and kind of just looking at what's in there. Like, okay, are there any blocks? Are there any energies that don't belong to you? Is there any old wounding that can be released now? And so they're going to begin working within your heart, within your physical and energetic heart to clear, to heal, to smooth, to soothe. So this may be feeling very intense. This may not feel like anything at all. Either way is perfect. Just allow whatever experience. And they are doing it for each person who's here now. Hi, people. Can't see who you are. And for everyone who watches this later, because of course, these healings and this guidance takes place out of time and space. So you receive it just as powerfully when you watch it later or rewatch it. You'll receive something different if you watch this again. And the same goes for the series of 3 healings that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks. They'll be recorded. And so if you want to join in on those, you can listen to them the first time and come live if you want, and then listen to them again later and receive different things like different clearings, different activations. You'll probably hear different guidance because you'll be in a different place at that time, because after the first one moves through, you'll have something, you'll have new stuff for them to work with. So basically they're balancing our hearts. I'm seeing it's like it's like Jesus is on one end of the teeter-totter, Mary Magdalene is on the other end of the teeter-totter, and your heart is right in the middle. And so your heart's been kind of going like this. And so Mary Magdalene and Jesus are just like balancing out the teeter-totter of your heart. So you're just very balanced. They're so fun to work with. I love them so much. I'm really excited about this session and about the next 3 because they're just so much fun. I work with them a lot personally whenever I'm having lots of issues, but especially love issues. And I get myself into trouble when I forget to talk to them. And they, you don't need me to talk to them. Like I love working with other practitioners myself, and it's very powerful to do so, but you can connect with them yourself anytime you want. If you're here, you're very connected with them. So they're happy to work with you anytime you want, even in the middle of the night. They're the best friends in that way. Like it doesn't matter. You don't have to feel bad about calling them at 3 a.m. They're right there. So they're balancing out our hearts. Ooh, okay. Whoa. Feels like some big clearing is happening for at least a couple of you. Possibly for me too. Yeah, something big just moved out of me. Just breathe with this. Sometimes the balancing actually feels more intense than the healing, especially for those of us who have been kind of on this quote unquote healing path for a long time. We're kind of used to like just dealing with a whole bunch of things. But then sometimes when we come into balance, it's like, what the hell is that? That's foreign. And so we kind of, it's almost like PTSD is a terrible term, but I think we're so used to being out of balance in this human body that coming into balance is a little weird. So just be with this energy. And another thing you can do that I'm recommending to everyone right now, if you feel this, is to ask for healing, ask for energetic healing for yourself. I was feeling super grumpy this morning. And so about a half an hour before we started this session, I just lay down on my bed and I took a couple of crystals that felt right. And the way I choose, I have just all these random crystals around. You don't have to use crystals, but I just like them. I'll just kind of like hover my hand over it and it'll, I'll pluck out one. Sometimes I'll touch one, I'll be like, nope. And I'll just take the ones that I'm guided to and put them wherever on my body or next to my body that feels right. And then I'll just go to sleep. And so Mary and Jesus did a healing on me to help me get ready for this session, so that I could be here and be present and not be like super, super cranky. And that's something that's really beautiful to do right now, especially as these energies are really picking up and things are clearing. And, this is going to be a very intense couple of months. And if you've been listening to me for a while, I say that all the time and it just keeps being true. It just keeps picking up, which is great because we're ready for that. We're here for that. This is fun stuff. And if you feel like you're taking steps backwards, maybe if you start thinking about someone you haven't thought about in a long time, or, something you thought you had moved through, especially around love, comes up again, that's perfect. You're just clearing deeper layers of it. You're just kind of excising anything that's still in there that is keeping your energy at a level that, doesn't feel as good. So we're just clearing so that our energy can keep rising. And when our energy is when our energy is at that frequency, that soul frequency, everybody's soul has its own specific frequency. And when we can really feel into that frequency and really like radiate that frequency, that's when our partner just like, boom, shows up, which is really powerful and good stuff. Sometimes we'll be guided to do a certain thing or go a certain place or try Bumble again. But sorry, that was me having judgment. But they will really like come in so powerfully when we're when we're really radiating at that tone. So that's what all this clearing is about. That's what, if you feel like you've been going through this for like years and years and years and wondering when the hell does it end, you've just been really, I think the thing about this divine partnership that we really desire is how powerful it is. And, it takes some doing, maybe some work to get there. It takes some, moving through our stuff and clearing. And, if you're here with me, you are a very powerful someone who is probably clearing a lot for the collective, clearing a lot for your own ancestral line, clearing a lot maybe for your soul family, for whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're here to do. Often we set it up so that work needs to be done before our person steps in. And then we go on to some whole new adventure. I have no idea what that is, but it's probably fascinating. But we kind of have to get to a certain point. And our soul set it up very specifically that we need to get to a certain point before that person will step in, or before that relationship will really solidify. So whether it's someone new coming in or somebody from the past, things unfurling in a way that works out mo better. We set it up for ourselves this way. So if you ever rail against your journey, as perhaps I have done many, 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 many times, we're kind of just being frustrated with our own souls who like set this up very, we're railing at our own genius for setting this up so beautifully and so powerfully so that we would have to move through things and prepare in a certain way for whatever it is your thing is, your relationship is, your work is here. So just checking in with the energy. Okay, Mary Magdalene is stepping forward. She's in red again. She came through for a session I did yesterday for all my past clients. I just emailed everybody. I was like, hey, thank you for working with me. Do you want to do a free session? And we did it yesterday. And Mary Magdalene was wearing red then too. So she is, what has she got for us right now? Okay, she's putting her right hand over the front of our heart and her left hand over the back of our heart. And just sending soft pulses of energy into the heart. Looks like she's almost like pulling her hands away and kind of like doing something like this. Not really sure. But she's working with the energy of our heart in that way. It's like massaging the energy of the heart, preparing it, softening it, helping it be more flexible. She's saying sometimes when you've been on this journey for a very long time, you can get a bit rigid about what it is that you want or what it is that you need. And she's asking us to be more pliable with that, to soften around that and trust our higher self and our angels and our guides to bring in only what is in our highest good, and to look for the gift in each challenge along this journey. Oh, gifts and challenges. The divine self is like, yay! My human self is like, really more. And that's part of what we're doing in this ascension process, and in this, this love process. We are melding our divine self, our higher self, with our human self, and that's a really phenomenal place to be, because when you're balanced in your human and your divine self, then you can be really present, and available with your human experience, but then also you can really see everything from that higher perspective. um Rita says needing the energy of our heart. Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Summer Moon 144. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Good. Well, Mary Magdalene's she's such a good one to work with on this stuff. So I'm really excited to see what else she has for us over the next few weeks. Um, so let's just check in. What else do you have for us? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. She says coming to tears and don't even know why. Yeah, I do that too. When I'm receiving healing or just moving through something, or, that it's always for me, when I'm channeling and tears come up, I know that means, okay, I'm really on the right path. Um, it's a little bit awkward when it comes up in public, but whatever. At some point, you just have to be willing to cry places. But yeah, no, that just means that you're in precisely the right place, and this energy is really here to love and support you. And I think sometimes we get really overwhelmed when we feel loved and supported, because maybe we haven't in our lives or our many past lives. Yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, me too. Okay, so actually feels like, okay, it feels like they're showing me the next 3 sessions, which aren't going to be on YouTube Live. They're going to be private. So if you'd like to join those, reach out to me and I'll tell you what the details are. But there's something about, you want to do something specific each Thursday? Oh, okay. It actually, what they're going to be doing, what Jesus and Mary Magdalene are going to be doing over the next 3 weeks with us is the next 3 weeks starting next week. So 3 sessions after this. It's like the energy of each week has something very specific and very powerful that they want to work with us on. So that will be coming through, because the downloads of light right now, and just the shifts that are in the collective and in the cosmos and the galactic everything that is happening right now, that's going to really assist us on this path. And so they really want to help us channel that and work with that in a way that's going to be really, really fun. And powerful. So great. That's fun. Thanks, guys. I guess it makes sense that they really knocked hard on my door the other day. Okay, so do you have anything else for us today? Okay, Mary Magdalene is actually, she's still working with the energy of a few of you, and this may continue for another 20 minutes or so, maybe another 30 minutes. It's like Jesus has one more thing for us. Yeah, he's waving his hands and jumping up and down. Sometimes he has to go to great lengths to get my attention. Sorry, dude. So what do you have for us? What else do you have for us? Okay, yeah, he's just reminding us that it is all happening perfectly. It is all coming in the exact right time. I know for me, I turned 40 earlier this summer, which I guess is earlier this year. Um, but I've been really kind of in that place of like, oh God, did I miss it? Because I've been seeing, like, I've had visions of my two children who do not yet exist for years now. And I'm like, no human, like no partner. I'm getting older. Did I screw up? Did I miss this? And every time I check in, it's just like, no, it's happening perfectly. It's happening in the exact right time. This is how you planned it. And he really wants me to share that with you because this is how we planned it. This is how we set it up for ourselves. And so, so the best thing we can really do right now is focus on our own journey, whatever that is, focus on our own joy, focus on, just whatever's fun. And it's entirely possible that this is your last couple of weeks, your last month or so of being single. And so, all right, great. So that sounds fun. What am I going to do with that? If this is my last, and I think it certainly is for some of us. For others of us, there's a slightly different path unfolding. There might be things in another few months. But either way, it feels like we're getting really close. And so, if this is our last few weeks, months, whatever, being single, and then, if you want children, if those come, like, okay, so I get to be so selfish right now. I get to do whatever I want. And maybe this is, kind of the last piece of my life that's going to be true. So then, that, like, what kind of opportunities open up with that? What kind of glee shows up? Like, what are we going to do with that? What kind of Netflix are we going to watch? What kind of trips are we going to take? What kind of weird dinners are we going to eat? So it's just like really, really playing with this, playing with where you are and really honoring how perfect it is that you are exactly where you are. And this is just being poked at me. One of the things I've been doing lately that I found really, really helpful when I want to shift my energy in any way, whether it's, around love or around money or just around being cranky like I was this morning, what I'll do is I'll just stop, take a breath, and notice what's around me. Like, I have some really beautiful sunflowers with these like purple thistles right in back of my computer. I have, these beautiful crystals and a little sleepy dragon and a giraffe, right in front of me that way. And just really noticing the small, lovely details of your present moment is so powerful because it brings us back into the present, and it shifts our energy from whatever it is we were thinking about or feeling lack around into like the really profound abundance that surrounds us in every moment. And so just really noticing, the small, lovely things around you can just bring you back into that nice space. And when we're in this present, very kind of grateful, joyful space, that's where we can, that's where we're in the most creative, powerful space. So from there, you can kind of feel into, okay, what's in my field that, what relationship, what experience would I like to play with? Would I like to have fun with? And you can just sort of feel into it from there. So I'm getting the thumbs up from Jesus that he says that's all we need to do for today. So lovely. Thank you all so much for showing up and for doing this with me today. This has been a joy and a delight, and I love you all. And again, we're going to do 3 more of these. They'll be longer. There will be space for, personal questions for your own personal journey if you have them, if you want to do that. So, reach out to me if you would like more details on that. And yeah, Mary Magdalene Jesus. If this really resonated with you, keep calling them in. You can keep asking them for healing. You can keep asking them for guidance. You can talk to them about your own situation, and they'll be really, really happy to help you out because they love this stuff. They live for it, in whatever way ascended masters can be thought to live for things. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so glad you showed up too. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to give you a big digital hug like this, sort of awkwardly. And yeah, sending you lots of love on your journey, and have fun because this autumn is going to be something else.